Hi everyone, my name is Marianne. I'm a counsellor and I work with individuals and couples. I specialise in the areas of relationships, stress, low self-esteem and depression. And what I want to talk about in this video is signs that your job may be bad for your mental health. So many people love their job. I know lots of people that absolutely love their job. It doesn't even feel like a job. Many other people hate their job. And then there's a majority of people are probably somewhere in between. They don't love their job, but they don't hate it. However, what happens when your job starts to affect your mental well-being? This is when I have lots of people that come to me for counselling. I have lots of friends and family that when they've been in that situation, they've had to take long periods of time off work sick. It just impacts on who they are as people. 5 signs that your job may be bad for your mental well-being. So the first sign is that you become anxious when you think about work. So this is even before you've even got to work. You just, anytime someone talks to you about work, anytime you think about work, you become anxious. What that means is that obviously even when you're not in that environment, the impact is still affecting you. So that is something really for you to consider. You shouldn't really be feeling anxious or stressed when you're not within that environment. There's obviously something wrong there. The second one is that you cannot be yourself or act in the way that you usually would. So you feel limited as to be yourself at work. Now that doesn't mean that you have to behave in an appropriate way. You're in a professional environment. However, if you feel that you can't even show any aspects of who you are when you're at work because it's either limited by the environment you're in, either management or people around you are constantly criticising you if you speak in a certain way or act in a certain way, or you talk about your personal life or anything like that, you may start to feel, why should I be at work and have to hide who I am or force, be a completely different person? So that does impact on lots of people's mental health. This specifically as well affects people who are from different cultural backgrounds, or maybe they just feel that they're a bit different in some way. They can feel that they can't be accepted when they show themselves for who they really are. The third one is your emotions are up and down. So many people who have come for counselling, either when I work on the helplines or when they've come to see me as a private counsellor, is that they feel like one minute they're just happy or they're just feeling okay, and next minute they're crying and they don't know why. Lots of just ups and downs, sadness, tearful, anxiety, and it's coming from nowhere. There's not something specific that has happened, and that could be related to your job, because if you are in a stressed situation at work, what can happen is that when you step away slightly, or even when you're in that environment, you go on autopilot and these emotions just start to occur. So that can be a big sign. Another sign is that you've considered leaving work without a plan. You feel that you have to get out of there immediately, or you've considered being signed off from work. So if you've considered either of those things multiple times, or even if you've considered them quite a lot, that could be a sign that your mental health is struggling and that your job is bad for your mental health. Because if you're in a job where that is not the case, then you wouldn't be thinking every few weeks, I need to get signed off from work, I need to leave this job. So you're only really going to feel like that if your job is really having a major impact. And the final one is that outside of work you can't switch off. Even me as a counsellor, but when I've been a social worker as well, it doesn't matter how intense the day has been or how stressful, especially when I was a social worker, I could switch off because I'd felt I've done a good day's work, I'm not at work anymore, I need to replenish and be ready for the next day, so I would switch off. If you're in a situation where you just can't stop thinking about work, you're all through the night, you're worrying about the next day, and you just, literally are still on edge, you're literally acting as though you're still at work, then that is an issue. So the things to do are to make a plan of action. I don't advise anyone, me personally, to just quit, but however, some people feel they have to. There's a number of people I know have just quit their job without a plan. The issue with that is if you don't have a plan, you're leaving one issue for another issue, because what that will mean is that your next issue might be that you don't have an income, and then you're going to be stressed about that. However, if it's up to you, if you have maybe a secondary income or another person in your life who's got an income, but it's up to you. But making a plan is usually better because you have something, there's an exit coming. The next thing is to create support networks and habits outside of work. Many people, their work takes over, so if they're stressed at work, outside of work they don't have anything to look forward to. You can always have a better life when you have something even to look forward to, so you have something planned, or when you have so many habits and activities outside of work, so it balances it out. The third thing is to speak to HR about how you're feeling, or your manager. If you don't feel comfortable speaking to your manager or HR, then consider going to a regional manager, so your manager's manager, or speak to your union if you're a member of a union. There are also EAP services, employee assistance programs, where you can make a call. Not all organisations have this, but some do, where you can speak to someone on the phone and they can give you guidance, advice, and refer you for counselling. So it's about recognising the signs, and it's about then deciding you're going to do something about them. So I hope you found this video useful. If you have, feel free to leave your comments, let me know what you think. Feel free to share this with others, as someone else might find it useful too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.